is iLulu, and you're listening to REZOcast. This is episode 106.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening to REZOcast, episode 106. This is Triton, and with me is Wilson and our very special guest, iLulu.
Hello.
And this week we have a ton to talk about, from Festival of Lost to Iron Banner. Really excited to get into everything else, but we want to go over what everyone's been doing this week. So Lulu, what has your week in Destiny been like?
Well, this week is actually a really busy week in Destiny. I don't know. I think it's probably the same for many people. I know it's the highest curse week in the Dreaming City, so Shattered Throne is back. So today I actually did the solo Shattered Throne. Not flawless though, just solo because I wanted the emblem for that. But and then the Haunted Forest is this week. Iron Banner is also this week. So those are my three main priorities right now: is Haunted Forest, Iron Banner, and Shattered Throne. So.
Okay, so you've hit all the highlights this week. Very cool. How about you, Wilson?
Oh, man. So up until Festival of the Lost, it has been working on competitive, getting that Luna's Howl. It's going to happen. But, I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, dude, do I just, get to 2100 and then mess around? Or do I, complete the quests and then get to 2100?
Do the quest.
Yeah, I know, but I'm at 1800 right now, and I'm so close.
What part of the quest are you on though? Which part?
Just not precision kills, just straight up kills.
Oh, and then you gotta do precision, and then you gotta do hand cannon headshot. You don't want to be over 2100 for the hand cannon headshot.
See, I could totally just kind of just buzz off and do my own thing with my ace of spades and stuff. That's the vision. It never goes as planned, but up and then Festival dropped and. Finally been doing some PvE. I've been caring more about getting my light level up. This casual here got his light level up to 577, something like that, finally. So not bad. I'm getting there. But I've been doing Festival of the Lost stuff, man. I want to get that auto rifle, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it in a little bit. But I was pretty happy with the event. I really didn't expect much out of it. I don't think it was meant to be this huge event. But what I've experienced so far has been really cool. But for my PvP action, I did it. Last year I said no to Call of Duty, and I picked up Call of Duty and have been doing the Battle Royale. And I gotta say, man, the bar has been raised for the new realistic Battle Royale. I was a PUBG guy. As you know, Hove is a PUBG guy. I'm sure he'll have something to say about this, but I'm really enjoying it in Call of Duty. It's fast, it's clean. I feel like when I die, it's my fault and not I want my character to do something and he has to think about it for 10 minutes. It just doesn't feel sluggish. But I need to take a break and get back in. And I need to finish getting that auto rifle for the festival. So what about you, man? What's your week been like?
Well, it's been pretty good. I finally got the 600 prime engram, so I've been trying to get my light level up. I think my hunter is at 596 now, 597, but I finally got two actually prime engrams at 600. Had a two-tailed fox drop for me earlier on when I did the Mars adventure, so I was pretty happy. I think that's my 6th or 7th Forsaken exotic, so starting to get those. I was really excited to get that too, because I think, we've talked a little bit about the exotic drop rate, and sometimes you're getting the old ones, you're getting duplicates, so to get that one, which is, unique to Forsaken, was really exciting. Especially
How do you get so many? Do you have a pre, activity ritual or something? You said 6 or 7?
The adventures, yeah. The adventures, I always get stuff from doing the daily adventure. That's where all my exotics happen. It's just I don't know, if I do something else that I think is more exciting, nothing happens. But when you do the adventure, it's thank you for doing our adventures. Thank you for doing this for the 10th time in your Destiny career. Here is a two-tailed fox and maybe something else 3 shards after you dismantle X thing. So that was pretty exciting. Have done the Festival of the Lost things. Got in the Haunted Forest a little bit. We'll talk about that later, but didn't get too far. Some people have really gone pretty far in that thing, and I'm oh, maybe I need to step up my game. Haven't gone too far. I've done it with blueberries. Not gonna blame them, but I've done it mostly with blueberries. Did a ton of Iron Banner, and I stayed out of that last time, but got back into it. And that was really cool. And yeah, as Lulu mentioned, the Shattered Throne's back, so I do want to try to do that this weekend because I was nowhere near ready to do that 3 weeks ago. So lots to talk about here, but let's first start with our special guest here, Lulu, and talk a little bit about you as a streamer and kind of what you feel like your place is in the Destiny community.
Yeah, my name is iLulu. I've been a streamer for 3.5 years, and I've been primarily always a Destiny streamer. I started out 3.5 years ago with Destiny. It was at around the House of Wolves, a little before that era, I believe, when I first started streaming. And when I first started streaming, it was kind of just like I was doing Max Grimoire at the time, so that's kind of where the channel started.
Oh yeah.
And then it kind of grew into what it is today, which is I kind of do I do a lot of raids with the community members, kind of like people in my community. We try to help first timers through the raid. I also kind of do some raid challenges. Not up to the point like some of the top tier PvE players are, but I always try to do like all the flawless raids. I've like just things like that, just fun stuff like that. And then so yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like a completionist within Destiny, I would call myself, I suppose. So like I try to get everything in the game possible. So I spent a lot of time on that actually. So that's kind of like when I'm not raiding, I'm usually doing something else related to Destiny to kind of like further like my progression in the game.
I could totally get down with that whole like completionist mentality. I used to have a thing with games where I had to get all the achievements, all the trophies, all these things for games. And that's a daunting task in Destiny, especially right now, more than ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's mainly just Destiny for me. Like, Destiny 1, like, in the past, I've played games like that, but it's only been a few games and games that, like, I really, really enjoyed. But when Destiny, the first one dropped, D1, the beta, I was like, this is my game. And I just started playing it, and it's been many years since, and it's been my primary game. So I don't play other games like that to that degree, but Destiny is definitely something that I try to get everything in. That
you've been on board since beta, you were saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. So did you play any like the Halo series? Like what kind of brought you into the game?
I played the original Halo when it first dropped, but I didn't actually ever own an Xbox. My family had a PlayStation growing up, so that was something that I went to friends' house to play on their Xbox. And then I did get Halo for PC when it came out on PC though, and I played that quite a bit, the original Halo. But I didn't play the other Halo, so it was just the original Halo. I played other shooters though, I played Call of Duty. I played just some of the older ones as well, like before, like the older PC ones, like Unreal Tournament, things like that. I mean, I played games my whole life though, but it's always been also like variety games, I mean, RPG types game, action adventure, pretty much any game, that was how I would play it. But then, I played Halo, and then I saw like a trailer for Destiny, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And so I tried it out, and I was like, I really like this game. So yeah.
It's kind of cool. Like it almost kind of feels like for a long time, I was kind of in the same boat. Like played every game possible. Like would just hurry up, beat it, go on to the next game, and it's almost like I was just kind of searching that entire time for the one game, the one community, the place that you can call home. And Destiny hits, and similar thing. I saw that trailer, and I think it was the Hunter, and I was like, oh my god, that cape! You know what I mean? I want to wear that, and I want to do all that cool stuff. And it's crazy how it's kind of come full circle, and like it's awesome. So.
Well, Lulu, what brings you to streaming? So I think a lot of people, we've had streamers on the show. Sometimes it's streaming something they're extremely comfortable with. Oh, I know I can do trials cares. I know I'm very good. There's not a lot of chat interaction, those types of things. We've had some people on here that do challenge themselves for certain things, but I think there's a unique element when you're willing to stream something and it also be a challenge you set for yourself, whether it's chasing Grimoire or like you said now, sometimes you're setting challenges for you in game. So what is it about streaming also with challenging yourself that's, so appealing for you?
When I started streaming like those many years ago, I had no idea though that like streaming was going to become what it is today. When I first started, I had I didn't know I was going to become partnered. I had no idea what it was going to become. I just hit record that day and go live. I was playing this game. It was kind of in like a slow part of the when Destiny is kind of on one of its like slower areas, and some of my friends had stopped playing, and I was working on my Max Grimoire, and I was like, well, I'm gonna start streaming it just to kind of see like where it goes. I didn't I wasn't watching anyone on Twitch. I really didn't know anybody in the Destiny directory because I had just found out about Twitch actually through Reddit. And so I really didn't know anyone in the Destiny directory. And so it was just kind of something that I wanted to do just to kind of see what it was. And then once my channel started growing, then I started kind of making like goals for myself within streaming and like learning about streaming. You know, I read a lot of articles about streaming and how to improve your setup. And then it just kind of has progressed from there, to be honest. Just kind of like going on. But I mean, for me, like I really enjoy it. So I guess the question was kind of like, what do you get from it, or what do you, but I guess I just, I don't know, you know, I get on at the same time every morning. It kind of like, you know, I get up at the same time every day to stream. It's just kind of something that's just part of my life now. Like, it just seems like it's just part of my life, honestly. Like, it'd be weird if I wasn't streaming in the morning. I don't know.
Part of the routine.
Yeah.
Well, you always have a plan when you stream. That's one of the things I'm usually able to catch the very beginning of all of your streams, just because of the way it syncs up with my work schedule and travel schedule. So every time I come in, it's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this for a little bit, then we're going to do this, and you can join during this part, and then we're going to do this. How much time do you actually stream versus how much time you spend thinking about what you're going to stream? Are they even? Is one more than the other?
Well, I think about what I'm going to stream while I'm at work. So I kind of like, while I'm at work during downtime, I like in my head, like get the plan, or like Sundays, I like, while I'm at work, I kind of like get my plan for the week, kind of like what I'm going to be doing during this week. And the reason I plan stuff is just because I only have so many hours to stream. So just, you know, because I am still part-time technically hours for streaming. So I don't have all day. I mean, I streamed today for 8 hours, but a lot of times I don't have all day just to do whatever I want to do. So to get the most out of what I have in those 3 hours, that's why everything is like planned. So if I want to do a raid, like we have people that show up at the start of the stream, like because they're planned. People sign up in my Discord. Otherwise, you know, we could spend the first hour trying to find people for a raid and then not even finish the raid. So it's kind of like, I do all of that kind of like off stream, but it's kind of just one day, and just like I just kind of think about it, and then people know that if they want to raid, they just go to my Discord to sign up, and for the week they're posted on Mondays. So yeah, it just keeps me on schedule. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time to do both and work. It's a lot.
Oh yeah,
for me,
sure.
when I was doing glass blowing full time, so during the summertime I do construction, wintertime I do glass blowing. My commute to and from the studio was where I would do a lot of my thinking and kind of like precognitive like planning of what I was going to tackle for the day.
Yeah.
And it always seems like your mind is on something else. Like, even though you're hard at work and your focus, you know what I mean? Like you're planning things elsewhere and stuff. So I can totally relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked like 3.5 years ago. I forgot how long Destiny's actually been out the other day. I think I said I've known people for like 3 years, but I think it's 4 years, right?
4? Yeah. Probably 4.5 years actually.
4.5 years. So
it's
as you
insane.
start streaming,
no, maybe 4. Maybe 4. Sorry.
4 years. Okay, so we're
You just started year 4?
right. Yeah, Forsaken started year 4.
That's what I'm
Okay, so
saying.
yeah, so maybe okay, so maybe
So
almost
like-
4.5.
Yeah, so we're getting there. And you know, you talked about you did it at 3.5. So when you started streaming and your channel's growing, what are some of the things that came really natural for you for, you know, being able to play the game plus interacting? And what were some of the things that, you know, you kind of took the time to say, okay, you know, I'm going to try to work on getting better at this, or I'm going to try to work on incorporating this? Kind of take us through kind of that journey and evolution to get where you're at now.
I think some of the stuff that came natural to me was honestly just playing the game. Like I wasn't nervous to stream. Like I was never nervous to stream. Like playing the game, like that kind of stuff, that was never like a problem with me. Like I never was nervous with that. I don't really get nervous talking to people in chat. I honestly get more nervous doing these podcasts than I do on my normal streams. So that kind of thing is like pretty easy for me. You know, I'm not even that much of a social person in real. I mean, I am somewhat, but I can be kind of shy. But like streaming it's just a lot easier to be more social with people in the stream. So that was pretty easy for me, just to kind of talk with chat and things like that. Now, you could argue that I don't read chat sometimes because I'm focused on the game, but that's more like because I'm doing something in the game that like requires my full attention, like soloing the Shattered Throne or something. That was kind of difficult at times. So, yeah, there are situations where I definitely could improve upon that. I think the things that kind of like initially were hard for me were all the technical aspects of it, because it's very technical. For all of that stuff, I learned a lot researching everything. like how to, like, initially I started on PS Live and I was actually partnered on PS Live, but I knew long term that I didn't want to just use PS Live. I wanted to do, PC streaming and get all the full benefits that has. And doing that, requires a lot of, figuring out how to do microphones and just everything. And then this summer I also went to a 2 PC setup. So that technical aspect of figuring out how to do 2 PC streaming.
Oh man.
Just kind of everything with that kind of, you have to just, I don't know, it kind of takes time. And I think it's just kind of like, I always tell myself though, like, you should always try to be self-improving for your stream though. You should always think, and I'm a little bit slow about that, I will admit, just because of my job outside of streaming. But I always kind of have in the back of my head things that I could improve on, or like things that like I should be working towards. And I think if you want to take streaming seriously for yourself, then I think everyone should always have some kind of goal that they're working towards with their streaming. Even if it takes you a while to do it, I think there's always, if you have something that you're going for, I think that's good.
No, I would definitely agree with that. And, a lot of people stream, everyone pretty much mentions it starts with passion for the game. And we've had so many streamers on here that Destiny was kind of that initial passion for them, which is, I never knew about Twitch or streamed anything or ever envisioned having a podcast about a video game until Destiny and those types of things. But when it starts with a passion, but now you have this community, and I've been in several of your streams, you have great mods, the chat's always really fun, all those types of things. Does that give you a secondary level of motivation to kind of keep improving, to keep going? I mean, you started with, oh, I love Destiny, I love this game, I want to share it, but now you have all these people that are kind of along the ride with you. And do you kind of feel like that has helped you sustain your momentum and your continual improvement?
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure, definitely. Like, the people in the community kind of like make the stream. I mean, yeah, the streamer is there kind of leading some things, but it's the people that show up every day or that are there that kind of make the whole environment of the streaming. Like, you come to my channel, but when you go to the channel is, you plus chat. It's not just the streamer. So I think for sure, like, that definitely motivates me. I've also, I've gone on vacation with these people in my stream. We went to Guardian Con, we went to, Universal afterwards. So, they're real friendships. It's not just a person's username online. When you play with somebody for 3 years, you kind of get to know them pretty well. It's not just initially it starts out as a username, but the more you interact with people in your chat, you learn who they are as people. So it's really cool, actually, how like and the internet has changed kind of like friendships over time, because you can become good friends with people online. So it's cool.
And it blows some people's minds too. And I tell them, like, the people that I play with, I have their phone number. We know things like birthdays. We know what's going on in each other's personal lives. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, I was talking to my I work as a registered nurse, and so I was talking with my coworkers the other day, like just this week. And they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do after work tonight?" And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go home and play games with my friends. We're gonna." And they asked, "Were like, well, do you guys talk?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we have headsets on." And I was like, "We talk on like this. There's like an app on the computer, and you talk to people." And they thought it was so weird, and like they're like, "Really, people?" I'm like, "Yeah." There's like, it's pretty normal.
They're like, "What do you say?" And I'm like, "We talk about things going on in the game, and we talk about things that, like, we just talked about, like conversation."
Yeah, I was like, it's just like normal. Like, we're just hanging out, just but online.
Yeah, it's like a couch co-op, but with headphones,
Yep, exactly.
Really cool. Well, we definitely want to keep kind of talking about some of the things that you are passionate about. But first, we do want to take a moment just to plug and thank our sponsor, Blue Microphone, and our giveaway that's going on this month. So again, this giveaway is definitely targeted at you guys, the listeners. So we didn't have this on social media. You only really could have heard this through listening to REZOcast. So we're so thankful for that. And if you left us a review on iTunes, and we have gotten, I think, like 15 or 20 reviews since we started the giveaway contest, you can receive a Yeti microphone, the Yeti Nano microphone, the Lola headset, the Compass boom arm, or the Radius 3 shock mount. So it's your choice for any of those 5 things from Blue Microphone if you leave us a review. I think we're pulling winners, this week maybe. Wilson, I don't know if you know 100% confirmed, but I think Lego said sometime in the next week or so we'll announce a winner. So thank you guys for that, we appreciate that you allow us to have a voice in the community. And speaking of which, Lulu, now that you are a more prominent streamer and a partnered streamer at that, you have kind of a voice in the community of Destiny. And I know recently you've chosen on your social media platform to kind of express something that you're passionate about and that you live with, and that be pots. So if you want to speak about that for a minute, we love to hear about something that you chose to share.
Yeah, so and actually I've been sharing this for a few years now, ever since I first started streaming, because it's every October is something called Dysautonomia Awareness Month, and I have a form of dysautonomia called POTS, and that stands for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And when I initially wanted to share it with people in my community, it's something that you just looking at a person, you're never gonna know they have, so you really won't, you might never ever know one of your friends or family or anybody could have it. And so 3 years ago, I decided to share it, and I raised some money for Dysautonomia International. But in doing so, I actually met people in my community and within some other streamers who actually had the same condition. And so it was actually really cool because these people are still a part of my community actually today. And so it's really neat to be able to connect with other people who have the same condition. So every year, kind of October, now I didn't do as much this year. I just kind of shared it. I didn't do any kind of fundraising this year. Just timing-wise, just didn't really work out for me. But I still share it because it's something that a lot of people live with. And you would never know just looking at me. But the condition, if you want to know a little bit about it, what it mainly causes is anytime a person stands up, their heart rate raises. And to be fully diagnosed, it has to raise more than 30 beats per minute or over 120 beats per minute when they stand. And there are a lot of different forms of POTS. I've actually been in some research studies down in Vanderbilt Medical Center, and was there for a week for their research studies. So I know my specific subtype of POTS that I have is it's called hypovolemic. I just have low blood volume that'll never be replaced. It'll just never be there. So that causes all my symptoms. And yeah, and there's, they're still looking for better treatment options and things like that. There's a lot of people who are undiagnosed with it. It just causes a variety of symptoms, but mainly the elevated heart rate is the starting point. For me in particular, my heart in the mornings gets anywhere from 150s up to 170s sometimes. It just kind of depends on the day. But honestly, streaming actually helps with that too, to be honest, which is why I kind of keep myself on a schedule, because the main symptom of POTS for me is fatigue. You wouldn't really be able to tell because I'm usually pretty hyper, up and awake on my stream, but that's intentional because I get so incredibly tired. And so if I wasn't streaming, I would honestly be sleeping all morning because you cannot, the fatigue with POTS is so unreal that you have to have something that's keeping you awake. And me just playing games, normally I fall asleep, if I'm not talking with someone or doing something else, I just get too tired, can't stay awake. So honestly, streaming has been really great for me and for POTS because I can stay awake, talk with you guys, and I'm not feeling like I'm going to fall asleep all the time. So it's honestly been kind of therapeutic for me to have a drive to do something, to get awake, to wake up for that.
That's good.
So
That's nice.
Yep.
No, I think it's really awesome that you mentioned that you were able to connect with people by sharing it. I think there's so many people who have things in their lives that maybe in their own immediate, people that they interact with, their field of experience, kind of that cultural, social circles that we get into, maybe someone doesn't have that. So there's very few people who can understand you. But when you have a voice and you can reach out over social media or any type of social app that you're able to interact and share that with people, I think is awesome. And I think that's a lot of things that the Destiny community, you constantly hear people share is, hey, I was able to connect with this person and that person. So very cool. I didn't realize that, not only were that something you share, but also some of the people that I guess I'm chatting with when I'm in your chat have been people that have also shared that. So very cool. So thanks for that. Well, let's talk about Destiny. Let's dive into the Festival of the Lost here. That is the event that came up. I think we have it for 2.5 more weeks. So it dropped on Tuesday. So how has Festival of the Lost been for you guys so far? What's your experience been like?
Lulu, you want to go first?
Sure. So I don't think I've played it quite as much as I would like to just yet. But I actually really like it this year. I like that they took the Infinite Forest and made it into something that, not quite a horde mode, but like, there's similar where you can try to see how far you can go in 15 minutes. And I think that's a really awesome direction for that. I think reusing the Infinite Forest for something other than what it was is really great. It really pushes those PvE players to like see how far they can actually go. And it's randomly generated and everything like that. And I like that it's tied with rewards. You get the fragments. What are they called again? I don't even know.
Soul fragments? Yeah, soul fragments.
Yeah, so you get the soul fragments. And then if you collect enough of them, there are rewards. There's that auto rifle you can get, and then all the different masks and things like that. There's also bounties involved with it. The one thing that I actually really like about it, and I hope that this is like what we see in the future, is that when you go into it, you can choose 2 different matchmaking modes. You can choose to go in with friends, or you can do matchmaking, or you can choose to go in solo. And I actually love that they had the option to go in solo for if I wanted to. When I was doing some of the bounties, I just went in solo just to do the bounties. I think that helps for the people who want to try and see how far they can get solo. Like, some people like to do things like that. I don't know. I just really like that they had 2 different options. I think, if they added that to strikes and stuff, some people may like that, or I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like comparing it to the old Festival of the Lost, it is leaps and bounds better. However, I don't really feel like it was intended to be like this big, massive event. Like I feel like it's really cool for what it is. Some of the loot that you can get from Eververse is pretty sweet. That eyeball ghost, and of course the cat ghost that everybody wants. Like, yeah, it's really cool. Plus you can get like the little icon for the ghost, like another cat.
The cat,
like
spiderweb.
Yeah, you can like flaunt it and let people know that you got the cat ghost like from a mile away. But it's, for what it is, it's really cool. It's good to see the Infinite Forest used better than what it was previously implemented, like you stated. I thought they nailed the spooky atmosphere going in there. It was really hard to see. Me and my fire team fall off edges all the time, so that was a bit of a nightmare for us. And the ending, like, I'm sure people listening have played it by now, but the ending where you get trapped in with one of those unkillable knights, and there's all that screeching and screaming and blood red on the screen, and it's dark. So, like, me and my girlfriend, we went in for the first time. It was our first experience in it, and it was just us two. And we got to the end, we're like, oh, that was really cool. That was refreshing. Like, we had fun. Like, there wasn't really anything, like, too dire about it. And right when we said that, we fell through the floor and got trapped in. And we were just wildly screaming, trying to find a way out of there. She found a way out, and it was like that horror movie, The Cube. Like, the room shifted, and it closed out the exit. And I couldn't get out, but she did. And it was really sweet. But I think, like, the coolest thing from this event is that we have a weapon tied to it, and the perks look pretty damn good. And on top of it, it's like 600 power levels. So like you can't infuse it into other things, which, like, I understand why they did that, but like it would kind of diminish the reward in a sense if, like, you're just trying to get it to throw it into your ace of spades or something like that. But I'm excited to get that auto rifle. I'm excited for more events in the future, and to be honest, dude, I haven't done like any Iron Banner, so for me, it's cool. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Well, I also like that you can level the mask up too. I don't know if you guys, the mask, they get all higher levels, and they actually are really good perks to help get you higher into the forest if you level them up, actually. So
yeah, I got the one where when you jump in the air, you're practically invulnerable. So anytime that it's grounded, I'm just jumping around like an asshole and like not taking damage like at all. And real quick, Triton, before you talk about your experience with it, what's everyone's favorite mask? Because mine's definitely the Lord Shaxx mask. Definitely like the looks of that one.
I don't have them all though. I really want the Thousand Voices one. Actually, I think that one looks really cool. But I'm rocking the Petra one right now. So
nice.
I've been like really hoarding these soul fragments. Like you only get one for a bounty. I think you get like 6 or something for finishing the Haunted Forest. I've only done it twice, but I've really hoarded them. I did see that they were upgradable. I didn't really look into it, but I did notice you can't dismantle them. So I have like the 3 Rahul masks, and I'm like, you can? You can.
You can.
Okay.
Yes, right. You can at first, but as soon as you like either put it on or you do one nightmare, then you can dismantle it. Because initially I couldn't dismantle it, and then I could, because I had like 2 Rahul ones or whatever, and then I could dismantle them afterwards.
Okay, that's good to know, because I think I got it my Titan. I'm like, well, I don't need both of these things. I haven't done the initial IO quest with with the Titan. I only did it with the Hunter, so I have these two whole masks. I'm like, oh, this is going to take up space, so I tried to dismantle one of them. It wouldn't let me, but that's probably the one I chose. So that's good news to know that we can dismantle them once you get to a certain point. But Wilson, you mentioned the atmosphere and the haunted forest, and one of the things I thought was great is whoever did kind of the lighting, because a lot of it is black, but some of it, I mean, there's like some parts of it are lit up. I think that, to me, and we talked about it last week when I talked about what I thought the kind of the downfalls to the Infinite Forest was, and having that element of dark but a little bit of light, and especially some of the enemies light up, I think that really masks some of the inefficiencies in the Infinite Forest. It feels more like you could feel the different levels in the map, like if you have to go up, if you have to go down. It's not so monotonous. And then, obviously it being pitch black helps too for the most part. So I thought that was a really, really well done, recycling a space that people didn't really care for as much. But just the execution in it to make you kind of feel like, oh, this is not just haunted, but it's something to be exploring. Like all of a sudden the levels, you feel the levels, like, oh, I may need to go up here, I may need to go down a path. Sometimes it feels like the ascendant challenges, like sometimes like this week's you couldn't see anywhere really. I didn't do it maybe the first week, so you had to kind of be careful about if you were just gonna like try to jump blindly to a blight. So I thought that was really interesting. So I did enjoy that, but really hoarding these soul fragments until I get that auto rifle. So I don't know if I'm gonna buy masks. I'm just not sure.
See, for me, this is where I'm like, so in Destiny, I have to get everything. So I have to get every mask and the auto rifle. So you need 410 fragments to get everything. So it doesn't matter if I spend them now or later because I know I'm going to get everything. So I have to.
That's a good mentality. I dig it. I like it.
Reddit said it was 410. So
yeah, I saw that going around your stream this morning. So I was like, I came in and I was like 410, and I was like, I was probably playing for a little bit this morning. I checked my inventory, was like 6. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I think I'm gonna have to budget it. I
don't have that many either because I've been doing Iron Banner, but I plan to get them all.
Well, how many do you have? Wilson? We'll go down the line real quick. Wilson, how many soul fragments roughly do you think you have?
42, 52,
and you bought
something like that. I bought a mask though. Okay. I bought the Shaxx one, and it gave me the Master Raoul one for free, which is terrifying. By the way, the look on his face.
One for free. Cool. Lulu, how many? Okay, well, I think you're actually checking. How many
I just
do you
dimmed
have?
it. I looked. Okay. So I have bought a mask. I bought the Petra mask, and then I have 89. So.
Wow. Okay, so I'm like my 26 here, whatever I have. That's really what it looks. Just seems terrible. But on my way to get, I have to do that weekly one where you get 40. I think I'm like,
if I do the
bounties I did that one on one character. Oh, okay. It gives you a lot.
That'll help. And the Masterwork cores, right? You get like 7 Masterwork cores for that too. So that would be helpful for those people looking for Masterwork cores. All right, well, it seems like...
I think it's important to say real quick too, is that we actually have more coming. The last week we got to solve that murder mystery. I'm kind of intrigued about that, I'm not going to lie. And I want to know what's up with all the little portraits by the candles.
Yeah, because there's 3, right? It's not just Master Eyes. There's like 3 people there.
I think there's more than 3. It rotates, because I think even... Correct me if I'm wrong, is one of them Anna Bray?
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw...
I haven't looked at those portraits. I need to...
Yeah, check those out. They rotate. There's 2 females, a male...
Are they by...
And Cade.
Are they by Amanda?
No, like right when you spawn into the tower.
Okay.
Where all the candles are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like these little tombstones, and they have like purple images of different people in them. And I'm pretty sure one of them's obviously Cade, like it's remembering people who have fallen, but...
Yeah.
I swear one of them looks like Anna Bray.
Interesting.
Like, yeah. So it's strange. But like, yeah, I want to see what's up with this mystery. I want to find out who took out Ives. It should be fun.
And this is October 31st that comes out, right?
Yeah.
The last week.
On Halloween. Let's go.
Very cool. Well, Lulu, this is your chance. I know you've put out there that you really like the engram lantern lights. So this is your chance again to plead a Bungie to make those so that you could decorate your room with those lights for your stream.
Yes, Bungie. I tweeted out that when you go into the tower, you see all these really pretty engram lights, and I think there was over 200 people that liked that tweet. So you have at least 200 people who would be willing to buy Destiny engram light strings. Wouldn't that? I mean, people would put them on their Christmas trees. They'd hang them in their rooms. That. I mean, I just feel like it's a no-brainer that you should make them. But they're pretty popular. People like them.
They are really cool, and the engrams that you get for Festival of the Lost, those are so cool. They're like melted candles. Like they look so
they are.
dope.
They do look really cool.
I want some.
Yeah.
I keep getting those
candles.
spotlights. I open them and it's like a spotlight projection, not like the ghost projection, but like the ones from I think Curse of Osiris. Like I get like the green one, the pink one. So it is helping fill out my collections. You like the spotlights for the ships. I get most of those.
Transmat effects.
Yeah, I haven't got a lot of armor pieces or anything like that. I think I mostly get the spotlights. So hopefully things will turn around. I don't think you can use any of that effects, right? Like the prismatic thing, you can't use that for I don't think you can use it for anything for Festival of the Lost, because I went in there earlier on. I had like everything possible that I could have gotten at that time. So
yeah,
it's gonna have to be the pure RNG. Some people I saw tweeted out that they got like everything in the first day. They got like the cat ghost, they got like one of the ships, the sparrow, and something else. So
it's a great system now where it's basically like a checklist. Like you're not technically supposed to get repeats, which is amazing.
So you should get everything if you open enough engrams.
If you open enough
by the end.
Yeah. You got to grind.
This might take longer though.
Right.
Well, speaking of another grind, people are grinding Festival of Lost, but also Iron Banner is up this week as well. Wilson, I know you mentioned you haven't done too much of that, but have you been able to dive into any Iron Banner this week?
I'm going to be totally honest. I haven't, because of Festival of the Lost and then Call of Duty that nobody cares about. But I'm not going to lie, because I took such I can't believe it was such a bonehead move, man. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about light level. I'm just going to totally ease into an expansion for once. And me loving to do Iron Banner, it kind of screwed me over last time it was around, because I was just getting absolutely destroyed by PvE gods who have grinded their light level and... which is fine, which is awesome. That's what it's supposed to be about. But I'm a little apprehensive to go back in. Like I said, I made it up to 577, but I know there's going to be
that's high enough. You will be fine against the.
I'm going to get a entire lobby of 600
no,
PvE gods.
But the graph is you'll be fine. You'll be doing. The damage between 570 and 600 is no difference. You're fine. Because I was I had lower light today because I was if you're 511, you're going to feel it. 511, 530, but if you're a 570, you're going to be fine. You're not going to even notice a difference. You'll be.
I need to get in there because there's a lot of, like I said, I've been trying to get focused on my power level, and all the engrams now give powerful rewards, they're easier to do. So I really have no excuse at all.
Yeah.
Well, Lulu, you mentioned being in Iron Banner earlier on. How has your experience been so far?
I played it for 4 hours today. It's still about the same though. Iron Banner always has a little bit more skill-based matchmaking applied to it, I think, than Cook Play does. So, I like the changes. Well, this isn't new to this Iron Banner, but I like the changes to control that they added. Actually, the different types of power plays you can do. It actually enabled us to come back from a pretty, we were gonna we thought we were going to lose. We were 50 points behind. We were pretty far behind, and we were able to come back actually from that defeat. I like that they changed the Iron Banner bounties to be easier actually, because there's a triumph where you need to do all of the bounties on all characters within 1 week. The only downside I would say to Iron Banner is creating orbs. I tweeted that out today because you have to create 150 orbs in 1 week, and I'm just saying that's a lot of orbs, especially when you only get 1 to 3 per game.
Yeah, it's a toughie.
So that's a try of 150 in a week. So you essentially need to do the bounty on.
It's complete all the bounties on every character within 1 week, not the season, within 1 week, and each week each character has one where you have to make 50 orbs. So I finished one character today. It took me 4 hours to do one character.
That's impressive though.
And I played nonstop today. Yeah.
That's the bounty I have left. So I've done it for 2 days, and I have 36 out of 50. And I'm using Golden Gun, and I feel like I have to kill 4 people with it to get 1 orb, 90% time. Can never get it. And a buddy of mine did actually Titan, Bubble Titan, and he got it done in an hour. I'm oh, okay, well, I have to think about that.
I'm saving time for last, and I'm totally just putting bubbles down every time to make my orbs. I don't even care.
That's a great idea.
He did Bubble Titan with Crest of Alpha Loopy, so he was just I'm doing it, and we're going to get this done. And he was done. So that's the one that I still have. But I've been enjoying the Iron Banner experience. I didn't do Iron Banner the last time. So, Wilson, for the reason you mentioned, I think everyone was pretty much raid ready, and then Iron Banner dropped right around that time, right? So I was not raid ready, and I think I was in the 530s, maybe 540s, and I was well, if they're 560s or something like that, I don't know if it'll be too bad. So I waited, came back in this week when I was in the 580s and 590s, and there's it's just like regular quick play. Like I don't notice anything. Now there have been people that are like I think 5'10" that I've almost like two bursted with anything I've used or one shot with things, which I guess is good for me. But I haven't really noticed anything on the other end. I feel like there is like a little phantom thing for being 600. Like the people that are 600 and I'm like 4 light levels below. I mean, it could just be the fact that if you play this much, you're really good too. But I always feel like those people is like a mild advantage. But other than that, no, it's been really cool. I've done it with friends. Iron Banner is always something I do with friends, so I think that aspect's back at being 6s, and it's been a pretty cool thing. What do you guys think about the armor sets? I don't know if we talked about a ton of that last time. Do you like the designed armor? Do you not like the designed armor? I know it's the second time around, but
I got super lucky, and last time Iron Banner was around, I actually stuck with it enough to get quite a few bounties done. But in a couple bounties, I got a couple pieces, but just from turning in like tokens and whatnot, I was able to just absolutely just knock out the entire set, like back to back to back. Like all my engrams in a row were an entire set of armor. So for my hunter, I'm set. Like I haven't even touched my other characters, but like my hunter's looking pretty good. I dig it. I have a particular like hodgepodge set of armor that I like to throw together because of the perks on it. Right now I'm more of a function over fashion kind of guy, but eventually I'll kind of equal the two out. Like I want to look good and perform good as well as best as I can. So I like the armor. It's really cool. Can't wait to see what maybe ornaments come around for next season on it.
Yeah, same. I have all the armor sets. Currently, I got them when the Iron Banner first came out. And I do like the armor, but at the same time, what I put on for PvP is specifically for like what I'm running, and so or like for my resilience, mobility, recovery. So my fashion game right now is pretty poor. It's actually really bad, and the fact that I haven't shaded anything because like I don't know if I want to keep it yet because
exactly,
and I don't have like the Iron Banner set with perks that I want on it just yet. Right. So I'm just kind of like. I don't know. The one thing, I think the armor, I like the armor style. I will say, though, the weapons this time, I don't like them quite as well as some of the previous Iron Banner weapons, but they're not bad. But I think the armor is really cool.
Yeah, I was down on the armor when we initially saw it, because I thought it looked like the Lost Boys armor from, like, the Hook movie back in the 90s. Like, just from appearance, I'm like, I don't know if I would wear anything like this. Although I guess that'd be kind of cool if you had, like, the Rufio armor or whatever. But since acquiring it, it's been pretty awesome. I was like, oh, well, this looks really cool. But again, I don't really use... I haven't really used it unless it's the highest light level, because some of the perks on it are like heavy ammo finder, doesn't really help you there, or it'd be like power. I think I got a helmet that's like heavy ammo finder and power ammo aim. So I'm like, well, this isn't really what I'd much rather run something lower and have like the dexterity in there, or the enhanced targeting, something like that, and maybe the reserves as well. Like I'm like, well, I guess it's better than heavy ammo finder, which won't help you. So I think I'm still in that mode as well. But yeah, I guess the ornaments are coming around next time then. So we'll get an opportunity to see. Is that what you said, Wilson?
No, whenever they add ornaments, or like I'm excited to see what ornamentation does to them, because they've been. It's not just like cheesy ornaments, you know what I mean? I like it when they change like the full geometry of what you're wearing and stuff like that. And Iron Banner, they usually have some of the coolest ones, so it'll be really nice. I just need to get my butt in there and get all those powerful engrams this week. I am sleeping on some power gains.
It doesn't take too long to get the main, other than the orb one. The other ones are done pretty quickly, I would say. Then
what's the matches? Is it 15 matches? So it's 7 wins,
I think it's 15
matches? Yeah.
But I think you'll be done with almost everything in 15 matches except for the orb one.
Unless you're Bubble Titan, then you'll be done at...
Unless you're Bubble Titan.
Then you'll be done at 7.
Yeah.
That'd be your first one done.
Yeah. Go in with 6 Bubble Titans and just chain your chain supers.
Yeah, right. Is it too late for Mayhem Iron Banner?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to think about doing that at the end. Then I didn't know. I look at some triumphs, but like you, I mean, if I see something, I do it. Like I am obsessed with trophies. So on my profile, I've never played a game on it for PlayStation that I've not gotten the platinum on. So like
that's so hard.
It's pretty maddening.
That's tough, dude.
So like the seal for Destiny, like Forsaken, drives me insane. So like I go around trying to get those resonance stems done, and I'm like, please Braytech Winterwolf, please Braytech Winterwolf. I get like Frigid Jack. I'm like, so upset because you have to redeem so many of those to even get one of those schematics. So that is preventing me from. Well, I have to do the strange terrain to get the rocket launcher, so I have to keep grinding that out when it comes up. But the Braytech Winter Wolf I know is going to be like the death of me. I'm like, that's the only thing keeping me from Wayfarer, and I don't have it.
Oh man, yeah, I'm working on a Wayfarer slowly. Like I don't have everything for that yet. I'm working on them, but like I don't have them done yet. So.
Well, we talked about Festival of the Lost and the Iron Banner. What do you guys think about the grind overall? So, like, to have this much stuff. So, normally, we would only have, like, one thing. Like, Festival of the Lost drops. That's all everyone's going to do because that's, like, you know, not that we're always in... We're definitely not in a content drought. So, to have Iron Banner up for just a week, to have Festival of the Lost be up for 3 weeks, but 410, as you mentioned, Lulu, 410 souls you need to get everything, plus just everything else. You know, the corrupted... it's the highest corrupted state of the Dreaming City. Do you guys like having... this much stuff to do, or is it a little bit overwhelming?
I'm gonna be honest, for me it's a little bit overwhelming. And I love the game a lot. I was talking about it in chat today. I would actually prefer Iron Banner to be out next week. I think next week would be a perfect week. So this week we got Haunted Forest, the Dreaming City is at its max. Like that's a lot already for 1 week. And then, you know, next week, you know, the final event doesn't come out for 2 more weeks. It's like the final week in October. So I think next week would have been perfect for Iron Banner. I guess timing didn't work out like that. You know, and I know a lot of people, like, they like a lot of stuff to do. As a completionist, for me, it's a little bit stressful because the Iron Banner triumphs, you have to do them in Season 4. And, like, I feel like I needed to do them this week. So it's a little bit stressful, but... I mean, I like having stuff to do though, so I don't want to complain about that though. So I don't know.
I totally agree. I was like coming off pretty much up until Forsaken. Like I was like, if it's in the game, I gotta have it, and I need the quickest way to get to it. And now that I've kind of taken more of a casual approach, it's more overwhelming than ever as a casual because like I'll go in. And I'm loving the variety. I'm loving that I can dip my toes into a few strikes, get rewarded for it, bounce out, go do some Gambit, and then spend the rest of my day in the Crucible doing bounties, other various quests for Redrus's Broadsword or Luna's Howl, stuff like that. But like my idea of a grind is slightly different. You know, most people, they want that power level, you know, grind, stuff like that. To me, it's I'm already trying to like mid-max when I'm not even max. Like I want perfect set armor for running a hand cannon. I want a perfect set of armor for running a pulse rifle. Or if I'm using a really nice power weapon that needs, you know, either more aim assist or handling or something, you know, like I want these, I'm creating all these different builds for PvP. And then it dawned on me that there's all these different PvE activities that I'm going to have to make builds for, you know, the raid, the dungeon, you know, whatever else gets thrown at us and stuff. It's extremely overwhelming because not only, you know, do I love Destiny, but I'm also really excited for a lot of games that are going to be coming out soon. Fallout, Red Dead. There's a ton of stuff that just got added to Pokemon Go. Like they just added a whole new generation of Pokemon. So I'm stretched thin enough right now as it is with gaming.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I'm juggling it all, but I'm working on it.
Well, Hove, there's still time for Pokemon Go, so I know you'll listen to this. So if you really, really want to get in now, Wilson just said whole new generation of Pokemon. So we'd be happy to discuss those with you in your free time, or just not when it's your free time, actually when it's the most inconvenient for you. But thinking about some of the things that we have in just in the game right now, it is a little bit overwhelming, but there's something about, like, I think my personality that, like, loves creating, like, an efficient way of trying to get as many things done. I don't know why. It's a weird way. So, like, I go to the Dreaming City. I already know, like, okay, so it's going to be the 4 patrols. So I'm going to go over to Petra, and then I'm going to jump over the ledge and do that one that's always like a scavenge, that there's that one lady there, and it's going to be Taken, which is great in week 3, because you just jump over that next little set of things, and it's that dude that if you kill enough Taken, he'll spawn, like, the guy that you can get a triumph for. I'll just continue on the path, jump up, get the kill anything one, pick up all those Barden bows on the way, and then go to, like, Ophelia's Rest or whatever that is. So, like, it just really, like, I really felt satisfied knocking out 4 of those bounties in, like, I don't know, 27 minutes, something like that. I almost did time myself, so I know that like specifically.
You're like a Taken or a Dreaming City, like, pizza delivery guy. Like, you got the route down. Like, you know.
I love
I found a ghost today that shows me Dreaming City caches now. So, and I have my clan up to rank, like, 5, whatever the one that you see, you see the Baron bows now, however you say them. So like everything shows up on my map now. So imagine trying to like go through the Dreaming City and do these bounties, and literally every 2 seconds there's a chest or there's a
oh man,
and they all pop up now. I was just patrolling that earlier today, and I was like, oh,
it is great.
The HUD is
Those
insane with collectibles.
Go ahead, Wilson.
No, I was gonna say I can imagine the HUD full of all the different things to go pick up, and
yeah, there are a lot of chests on the Dreaming City. I feel like there's more on the Dreaming City than there are on like other.
It does seem like that for sure. I put on the Keen Scout on my Hunter. So I can just like see all that stuff to begin with, and I'm the same way. Like I'll be doing something, I'll be like, "Oh God, I'll open this chest." All right,
but you have to open it. You can't let it go.
No, because somebody else will find it. Like,
right? It's my chest.
You never know what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get in the chest. Like I always have to do. I haven't done a lot of the arc charge ones where you have to like go and find it. Like I don't think I've taken the time to either YouTube those, or I've never been with somebody who's done it. Those chests are fine. They can stay where they're at. But I do feel a little overwhelmed. I've gotten away from like the 3 heroic story missions. That has now hit like the absolute bottom of my list. Like that won't be done in like a week where there's Iron Banner or Festival of the Laws. Although admittedly I did do that one today because there was that one mission where you go to like revive Zagira and it takes you like 6 minutes to do. So I did that like 3 times really quickly to get my challenge with the mask on. I never did that. I realized that I had that sitting there for the Tess Everest thing. I was like, wear a mask and complete any challenge. Well, I couldn't do that in Iron Banner for my 5 Crucible ones because I would just die immediately at 511. I think that's what I dropped down to. And then I think I just did it without the Vanguard Strike. So that was the only thing left on my Hunter that was like a challenge anywhere was 3 story missions. And I was very disappointed in myself that that's how I set up my week, that I had to do those. But
just a tip for that also when you're doing them, if you do it next week, like for instance for Ikora, like when you know how you turn in those bounties to Ikora to get like the 20 bounties, if you talk to Ikora with your mask on to collect that counts for that challenge too. So
what?
Whoa.
Yeah, so you don't have to actually, you just have to collect the reward. So like if the reward, so like doing the flashpoint counts. So like do the flashpoint. You don't even have to wear the mask to do the flashpoint. Just when you collect the reward for the flashpoint, put the mask on.
Oh man,
pro
strat there. That would have
let's go
to turn those in while wearing the mask. Well, I did get lucky on the transcendent bounties, like purification rituals, like to do the corrupted strike while ascendant. So I got that one a couple times, and you want that like the transversive blessing, like the mod. So I mean, it's like worth doing to me, like collecting those mods. And so I joined the strike, and they literally were almost killing the boss. So I had the Tincture on there, so
nice.
I was able to get that done. I'm like, well, I guess since I have this for 29 minutes, I just did the Ascendant Challenge too, so that worked out well. So I did get some luck that way in being able to have that, but I did not realize you could just wear
double dip
the mask.
in.
Oh, that's the best feeling in Destiny, to me.
Double dip in the tincture or whatever it is, like to get the Ascendant. Look at you.
No, it's the little things in life, Wilson, that I take. Getting 2 things done at once in Destiny.
That is a good feeling when you can get that stuff done quick, like especially when you're feeling as overwhelmed as we are too. Like,
yeah.
Now, is there anything you wish they would adjust? So now we've been in 6 or 7 weeks, and we're going to transition into Twitter questions here and maybe some other things before we wrap up. But just some general questions that we've been at 7 weeks of, this, I guess, week 7. Is there anything now that you've seen that you were like, okay, well, at first everything's so exciting, you're in that honeymoon phase, but now that we've kind of taken a step back, are there things that you would change a little bit that would be maybe either more rewarding for you or less grindy? Is there any kind of activity like that?
Let me think about this for a second here.
I can tell you one thing I'd change. I'd give hunters their one-shot throwing knife back, since warlocks have a one-shot grenade and titans have a one-shot melee. Just saying.
That would be good. I would agree with that.
That'd be cool. Like, and I was talking about this with Marcus, Mr. Tomfoolery, and he's like, but what subclass when you put it on? He's like, you can't put it on the one where if you get a crit kill, it gives it you back, because people just abuse it, spam the shit out of it, and stuff like that. But I was thinking if you put it on is it the 6-shooter? The 6-shooter tree, I think, is the... Yeah, I think that'd be amazing. I think that would be really cool. That'd be one change that I'd make, but that's just coming from PvP. But I guess the question was, you were talking about to make things more grindy or less grindy?
Well, yeah, something like that. It could be that, Wilson, like, any kind of change that we've kind of taken notice now that you're...
I wish that there was an activity similar to the Haunted Forest that we could get a different like loot pool from, you know what I mean? Just some sort of activity. I need a beer and pizza activity, man, because when I go into the Crucible, I put my tryhard pants on. I'm under leveled, so when I go into PvE, I feel like a detriment, so I got to put my tryhard pants on. Like, and so I really want like a beer and pizza activity. Gambit was like that, but once again, man, I start getting a little competitive once I see like, you know, that they got more moats than we do, or some guy comes over and sleepers me in the face and makes me dump 15 moats, you know what I mean? Like, kind of makes you step up your game a bit. But some sort of beer and pizza activity, and as much as people hated Prison of Elders, dude, I spent so much time in there. And even if it was like an activity, so like when in Destiny 1, and we haven't really quite seen this in Destiny 2 yet, but like where certain vendor gear would become unavailable during the next update, that was one of my favorite things to do in PoE, was because I could go back, and after 20 rounds of PoE, I would get like a fulcrum or something, you know what I mean? Like something that you couldn't get from any other activity. I just think that would be really cool. Something like that, or Archon's Forge. That was a really cool, like, you know, sit back and chill and just grind it out with your friends and have some awesome conversations in there. That's kind of what I was hoping the Haunted Forest was going to be, but I mean, I was happy with the way it turned out.
Do you think if they added like specific like loot to the Blind Well and somehow changed slightly a bit of the Blind Well, that could work as a potential, or do you think they should have just added loot to begin with to the Blind Well?
The Blind, you know what, that would probably help a little bit. My problem with the Blind Well is I can't see anything anywhere. I don't know if I'm just getting old or like what it is, but like I go in there, I'm like, okay, it's foggy, you know, I can deal with this, and you've got, you know, Ash Ketchum over here with his, you know, super going off and things are exploding, and there's just so much energy everywhere, and I'm just like, God, I can't wait till this is done. Like, I think I'm getting old and like the music's too loud, you know what I mean? Like,
that's true. I mean, I do kind of like it because it is kind of like intense. If everyone's using their supers, you're like constantly supering, right. And I kind of like that, but I can see that's probably that's not really relaxing, I guess, in terms of just it is like activity.
Yeah, it is, because like my homie Marcus, he'll just pop the well, yeah. He'll just pop a well, and that's total chill time when someone pops one of those. I'm like, okay, I can catch my breath and see what's going on here.
Lulu, how about you? Anything that you would maybe change in some way? Not necessarily like a negative thing, but just something that you've kind of taken some time to be like, okay, that if it was a little bit different, maybe I would enjoy this more or be a little bit more rewarding.
You know, I mean, I still have a lot to do in the game. So for me personally right now, I can't think of anything at this moment that I think, yeah, that needs to change. I think for me, the hardest part is that, you know, you were talking about min-maxing things. And for me, like, initially when I get an armor piece, I don't know right away if like, oh, is this something that I want to keep? Like, let me look at these perks. And while I'm streaming, like, I don't really want to like analyze perks while I'm, you know, streaming, because, you know, that's kind of a lull time. And then I go to work, and so then I just put everything in my vault. So I guess like for me, and then trying to do inventory management becomes difficult, and then I'm out of vault space because I have 4 pieces of this armor that I don't even know which one I want to keep yet for min-maxing, because I need to like figure out what I want. So I guess if there was a better way for us to actually do min-maxing, or to keep pieces, like say you get an armor piece and then subsequent armor pieces, like they just cascade. It's all one slot, but then you can see what other pieces you have. I think if there is a better way for that, and I know we're not going to get that anytime soon, but because I do like to min-max too, but the problem is for me is when I min-max, I usually like read about what other people like recommend. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. So, you know, it takes a little bit for that to come out and for time. And so I don't always know right away what perks are good until people do all that kind of analyzing. So, I mean,
I'm
my vault's
actually really
like
glad
full.
You brought that up.
So,
I was saying the other day, something that you can do in Pokemon Go is you can nickname your Pokemon. So if I get a Mewtwo with the moveset Confusion Psychic, I can just name him Psychic. Mm-hmm. If I get one with Confusion Ice Beam, I can name him Ice Beam. So when I go into a raid and it suggests my Pokemon, it's not just a bunch of Mewtwo's, it's what Mewtwo's is it suggesting with what movesets. Oh. So it would be cool if we could name, like, and this is never going to happen, but put a little text of, like, what this piece of armor is. hand cannon build, or this is my raid set, or something like that. Just anything to where like what you were saying, to make management so much easier, because my girlfriend Sam, her vault was an absolute disaster. It looked like an adolescent teenage room. Like it was
mine's
just
horrible. And I just did. It's like almost at 500 right now. And
so she just got so overwhelmed with it that she just deleted everything out of it. And she's like, it feels so good because now I know what I'm putting in there and I know what I want. And I know that's a horrible, daunting task, especially when you can't get some of that stuff back with random rolls or whatever. But
the reason why I don't want to delete everything is because I have stuff. All of my stuff is masterworked from year one. Like it's all got that gold. Like not everything, but almost all of my sets are masterworked. And if I delete those, the masterwork is gone. Yeah, I can get it back, but I'll never get it back to like where it's perfectly gold set. I don't want to delete everything. I want to be able to collect. I'm a collector. I want to collect everything.
For sure.
But I also want to min-max, and so it's really hard to save items to min-max when you don't have room to min-max stuff. So I think that's kind of stressful for me. So
those were the first things to go in my vault, were the masterworks.
So, I know that's a huge debate, so I don't really want to trigger people, but it's hard to min-max also when you can't infuse stuff because you don't have cores. So.
That's another thing too. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that change to the masterwork core economy. I
mean, because I'm at 600 now, so now I'm at the point where I do want to infuse everything up to 600, but I don't even have cores to do that. So I'm like, well. So now the problem is I'm holding all these 600 extra weapons because I can't, and I want to keep them to eventually infuse them into all my other guns, but I can't. So now I have 600 guns that are infusion material that I can't infuse yet. That's taking up space in my vault. So it's just it.
What about you, Triton? You got anything that comes to mind?
I think. Well, I mean, I mentioned the two. So I would take the heroic story missions down to 2. I know that it seems like super like, well, what's the point? 3 is fine, but I don't know. As someone who I think for a couple weeks now, I have hit a stride where I've done basically everything. I'm like, I think 2 would be fine. I mean, that's a very small thing. I mean, would I really care if it stays 3? No, but I think I've gotten to feel like 2 is probably sufficient for that. You mentioned the masterwork thing. We know that's coming, so I think. But I have noticed that if I dismantle things, I am getting a lot more masterwork cores for just simple dismantles lately. Since Festival of the Lost, if I dismantle probably 3 pieces of armor that I'm not going to use, I do end up with probably 2 of those giving me masterwork core. I don't know if it's just good RNG on my part, but I think I'm up to 200 masterwork cores only, and I infuse a lot, but only really buying 2 from Spider every day.
I have 10.
No, I have almost.
That being said, I just spent 25 today masterworking a gun for PvP.
I think I spent all mine, and I might have a couple floating around in the cushions of my couch somewhere. But other than that, I am broke on the masterwork cores.
I afford those things.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a good suggestion about being able to kind of have sets. I immediately went to the Division. For those of you who played the Division, I know that came out. Supposed to be the Destiny killer, but I kind of jumped on the train of oh, this is a new type of game that we'll get to experience, and they allowed you to build sets. I don't know if initially, but after a while, you could say this gun, first gun, second gun, this armor piece, this headgear, this boots, whatever, and you could lock it into one set. So if you wanted hand cannon set, and you could actually name it. So if you wanted to call up hand cannon set, it would automatically equip you with everything you wanted. And you could call up pulse rifle set, so that would be cool. Or PvE Shattered Throne set, or Spire of the Stars, or whatever, just for people to be once I figure out this is what I want, I can kind of name it into a set, and then it would just call everything, which I thought was really cool. And that's in a game that we currently experience. So whether or not that's something that's easy for Bungie to do, I don't know, because in your past years, always in order to do this, we have to completely change this. I don't know how their things are always coded, so I don't know if that would be a difficult thing, but I think it would be neat to have a feature like that for ease of use. And I know for you, Lou, it doesn't bother me if I have to sit and debate a set for 2 minutes because no one's watching me. I'm not streaming, so I can debate. Let me see what people say about it. But I guess it would help people in general, though, to be able to do a comparison beyond just the how, because you can't do the R2 for a armor piece. You have to go into each individual one and see. Here's the perk here, here's the perk there. So
yeah.
I guess that would be something. So let's move on to some of the Twitter questions that we did have, though. We did get one in from Matt Grundy. And Wilson, do you want to do the Twitter questions? I know Ho kind of took this from you about 2 weeks ago. He just couldn't handle himself, or last week. So would you like to do the Twitter question this week?
He did, absolutely. Before we did Twitter questions, though, did you want to talk about the? I mean, it was kind of a baby twab.
We don't want to skip the baby twab. Thank you, Wilson. We do want to make mention, though, and Wilson pointed out that there was a update that came through on the 16th, I think, when we had all upload like the new version of Destiny. So if you want to see all of the patch notes and all of the fixes, because there were quite a few, you could check that out. I think it dropped on 10/16, wasn't that, Wilson?
Yes.
So that dropped
the
then,
one when Festival dropped, yeah.
And rather than have me, and I know we're not necessarily streaming, just literally read off all these things, there were a ton of fixes to just weapons, armor, abilities, sandbox changes would be pretty much how those things fall into. Gambit, Crucible, all kinds of things, economy. So there are a ton of fixes that came with the Festival of Lost on Tuesday. So if you would like to read those things more in detail, you should be able to check those out on the Bungie site. But yeah, let's, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Thanks, Wilson. Let's dive into the TWAB. We can see right away that there are, if you really are getting Festival of the Lost, you can get masks to make yourself, and you also can get stencils. So if you are a super creative person or just want to live Festival of the Lost to the fullest, that those things are available. To do that, have any of you guys ever done any of those things?
No, but I'm tempted to get the stencils because me and the lady are going to get pumpkins here soon. Sweet. And I love carving pumpkins. I'm awful at it. It's not my medium. Okay, I've tried it all. I've tried painting, sculpting. It wasn't until I got to play with fire and melt things that I was actually able to make cool stuff out of it. But I want to do the stencils. Pumpkins are cool, and you always get to eat the pumpkin seeds after. I don't know if you guys do that. Is that weird?
No, people do.
That's weird.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if that was just like a Midwest country thing. All right. All right.
Yeah, I haven't made anything yet, but I would say I don't think I'm doing pumpkins this year. But if I was, I would print it off and do the stencils because I would totally make a hunter pumpkin. So
nice.
Sure.
Very cool. Well, this is your chance. If you want Lulu to branch out and do a creative stream and do stencils or a mess on stream, I don't know if you would be game for something like that. I would be terrified.
I would be game, but I don't think I'll have time this October. It's a busy month for me.
Understandable. I would be terrified to try to make one of those masks, and they're probably designed
honestly,
to
though, I'd be afraid I'd probably like ruin all my equipment. To be honest, because also like sat on the floor back here and did it.
Have to angle your camera. That would make me nervous. I'm sure it's one of those ones that I haven't even really seen them that like you just kind of like match up the tabs, right? So is it like one big thing, and then you just kind of like say, oh, one has to fold into one, and like 2 to 2 to make the shape. I'm not actually sure.
Okay, see, I was picturing carving pumpkins actually. That's
okay. All right,
Yeah, you're talking about the folding mask. Yeah, but yes, to answer your question, yeah, there is kind of some I wouldn't quite call it origami, but yeah, it's just connect this, A to B sort of thing, fold it over for the mask, stuff like that. I don't know, the chicken head one looks pretty damn funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that won't be cool. Yeah, but to the stencils,
it'd be fun to stream in that.
I don't think I could do that either. I don't think I could. I could do any of those things. But you mentioned the 12 isn't huge. The Rockstar event, though, for those who have already signed up, I think it runs through the early part of November for some in-game competition for a variety of things. So basically, all that Destiny Forsaken has to offer, you can compete in to win some pretty cool prizes. And I did skim the prizes really quick, and I think like the grand prize is potentially like that Roadster thing with like the Forsaken symbol on it. That's ridiculous. So
yeah, it's crazy. So like it says, if you're the competitive type, this may be right up your alley. Live through November 7th, the Rockstar Energy Riot's in-game competition offers weekly challenges in the Crucible, Gambit, and Strikes. Earn points by completing matches, defeating Guardians, or getting precision kills. The top 4 players from the qualifier round will be challenged in the ways of old, squaring off here at Bungie for more than just bragging rights. So they have Rockstar has done a competition before. This is like the second one, right? Before it was a dirt bike, I believe. And it was just strictly Crucible, and it was completing matches, and then I think it was like winning matches earned you points. So I don't even think it was even that. It basically comes down to who's going to play the most, who's going to share their account with their entire, dorm or, whatever it is. Like
24/7. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like college kids, this is made for you. Like if you've got the time, like, and you've got 10, 20 people in your apartment area that want to play this, you can earn some cool stuff. Let's see here. can earn some real-life rewards. Top players will earn weekly prizes, including Bungie Store gift cards, headsets, gaming chairs, and the grand prize is a Destiny 2 Forsaken-inspired Slingshot Roadster, which it's pretty cool. It's not really what I would envision myself rolling down the street in. It's a little Mad Max for me, kind of. Maybe I'd take the cash equivalent, but But hey, you know what? If this kind of stuff is pretty cool. There are people out here who are very interested in these kind of things, and what was it? It was Butt Wipe actually was going for the dirt bike, and he got to the point to where he just basically shared his account in his Discord, and there was like a good 2-3 week period where he was signed in 24/7, and people were trying to help him get it, and he came pretty close. Like, he was in the top 10 for the longest time, and I think like after the last week, he realized it just wasn't going to happen. So, good luck to anyone out there.
It's cool though. Sorry.
It is. No, go ahead. Just say good luck to anyone out there.
I think it's cool that they're actually sending them out to Bungie. Like, Bungie's inviting them to their studios actually to do the final, final square. I thought that was pretty neat. I actually didn't even know this event was going on until I saw it on the TWAB. I think it started last week actually, so I was like, that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know about it.
It was cool. And like you're saying, I'm sure they'll live stream it or something. Like, it'll be interested to see how it unfolds, who ends up winning. If there's anyone who's already well renowned in the Destiny community, or maybe some newcomers will rise and show them that they can hang as well. So it'll be interesting.
Definitely cool.
But other than that, I don't think there was a whole lot more in the TWAB, right, Triton?
Not a ton. I mean, it pretty much tells you how you have to trigger, I think, some of the Festival of the Lost events. So, you have to do the mission on IO. You can't just go and get the mask and then jump in anything. You have to do that Lost Sector mission on IO in order to trigger the Haunted Forest to get there. It gives you, the general. It does have a link to the patch notes that we talked about when we opened with. It also has a little bit of the fixes, just some high-level fixes that I think it wanted to highlight that came from those patch notes. So, yeah, not the biggest TWAB, but I think the one that we had last week, the precursor to the Festival of the Lost, had a ton of content. And again, the patch notes do have a ton of content that came Tuesday. But for the most part, it's just kind of a, hey, hope you're enjoying Festival of the Lost. Here's some other cool side activities. I'm just trying to get the Rockstar thing to work for me. I did get an emblem from a friend, and we were talking about I got a code from a friend. I still haven't got the emblem, so I mean, not that I would probably be too much of a competitor in this competition, but I don't think I can even get it to start. So hopefully people have had better luck for that and have gotten the emblem. But there is information on how to sign up there. Speaking of some of the things that when we look through some of those bug fixes and before we get to the TWAB, one of the things that came off the top of the list was Gambit, and I shared with you, Wilson, very specifically before the podcast started, that I finally got some great hate mail. I think I've been kind of asking for hate mail. I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting any hate mail. I was disappointed with the PvE community because recently I was on Mars and I just kind of was rolling through, actually trying to get adventures off my playlist. I realized my Titan had done not all the adventures. I'm like, nope, can't stand for this. Did those. I think I passed the Ogre, so that was last week, and just shot him once with a sleeper. Didn't kill him, just shot him once with a sleeper to get in the event. Continued to finish the adventure, came back, and he was dying at that point. And I got the Aquila shotgun. I already had it, and no one else did. So no one else got this but me, and that was just a row through. And I was really disappointed that one person wasn't like, seriously? So I got a voice message hate mail for Gambit, which was beautiful. It was from Darth Twinkie, which is great. I was the name, it all aligned. And so I'm not, as most people know, my role on the show here, Hove would have no problem trying to tell you the whole thing. I think I put it on Twitter. I quoted it on Twitter, but it is glorious, and I will try to find a way to. I think I'm just gonna have to take a video on my phone and post it. But I did get
it takes me back.
Some hate.
It takes me back because everyone's gotten a text hate mail or whatever, but I haven't gotten an actual physical voice hate mail since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on Xbox 360 when everyone had their headset for the first time and their outlet into their voice in the gaming community. So that's pretty damn funny, man. That's a gag.
So how about you, Lewis? So this will help us transition into questions, but what is, I don't say your favorite, but what is the most memorable hate message you ever got? And hopefully you've never gotten any, but if you have.
Oh gosh. I don't even, I don't know if I have the most memorable. I mean, I've gotten the pretty standard hate mail messages that most people get. Usually, if you do really well in PvP, you automatically get that you're a cheater. I just got that yesterday, actually, last evening when I was playing. And I responded just, how so? And he didn't respond after that. So I was like...
That's usually it. They don't expect you to respond. I got called bootleg Rezo the other day. That was pretty funny. Nice. Yeah, because I was totally not... popping an incense and catching Pokemon from home while I was trying to do a Crucible match. Nope, totally wasn't. But I got a little wrapped up in trying to catch one of these Gen 4 starters and just got absolutely destroyed for part of the match, and then got a message that said I was bootleg Rezo afterwards. I thought that was pretty good.
I think, though, I mean, I guess this one always pops out, though, of my most... I don't know if it's hate mail. It's related to Twitch, actually. Like, when I first started streaming, I got a whisper of how this guy brutally wanted to murder me, like, in a whisper. And I was like...
Dude, Twitch chat's insane, man. I've heard some crazy stories
so
in Twitch.
I guess, that would probably be the most memorable message I've ever received from someone, how he was gonna brutally murder me, but I didn't respond to it.
Well, yeah, like, okay. What is there to say? What is there to say?
Report and move on.
Right?
Like, basically, like, I don't know how you guys do it, like, have the thick skin on the whole Twitch thing. Like, props to you guys, because I would have been like, well, that just pretty much shit on my day, so I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a day. Good night, guys. Like, so good for you guys.
I honestly just was like, really? Like, okay.
Did you guys see the movie of the week winner?
Was it the
I saw it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But it's our favorite
so,
weapon.
Yeah. So, like, normally, like, we don't really talk about movie of the week a whole lot, but, like, I thought this one was pretty good. It was called Edge Transit, and it shows, like, the title screen of Destiny, and it says, like, press start to play Edge Transit. Like, it's just the meme personified into the title screen, and then it goes into a bit of a montage of all the Edge Transit drops. And I thought it was pretty cool that Bungie can kind of, I don't want to say like laugh at themselves, but laugh along with us at like the meme that is Edge Transit. So I thought that was a really cool one, worth mentioning. Needed to be done. That video needed to be made. So,
and then I see that the runner-up was not Edge Transit. They mentioned so. That was the honorable mention, or the honorable mention was not Edge Transit. That's funny. We do talk about movie of the week when Lego wins, though. When Lego wins, the movie of the week always ends up in conversation. Actually, I'm just pulling his leg there because he's like one of the most humble guys ever, so he barely mentions it. Although he wears the emblem everywhere, but still.
He's won like 3 times.
He's won like quite a few times. Yeah, he's won movie of the week quite a few times. So kudos.
He's the movie of the week.
Kudos to you, Lego.
I won movie of the week once and honorable mention.
Oh,
did you?
Two-time winner here.
Well, actually, just honorable mention, but
you get I guess winner of the emblem.
You get the emblem though, so
yeah, that's cool.
If Bungie ever wants to push those emblems forward so that we don't have to try as hard again to get it in Forsaken, would be great. Or Destiny 2 would be awesome. I'd love to have it.
I got my first one for doing Crota blindfold, so if you do something blindfolded, you might get it.
That's incredible.
Go solo the Shadow Throw blindfold. See if you get it.
I could barely like walk to the bathroom like just from waking up, and I'm like half blind. So like I couldn't even imagine trying to do Crota fully blind.
So it helped.
So you did
telling you exactly where to go.
Was still blind.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough.
So how long was the video? Was it like your final kill, or did you up like the whole experience of doing it blindfolded?
No, we did the Abyss, so it was the very first part. So it was a joke in my chat. Like we did a lot of we helped a lot with D1 Flawless Raider. So like 200 and like I think 49 was the count. 200 and something was the final count of we helped people get Flawless Raider. So I jokingly said, I could probably do the Abyss blindfolded because I've done it so many times. Like I knew where all the holes were. And so it finally became like, you should actually do it blindfolded. So we did. We had James Work. I don't know if you know him. He's another partner streamer, and people from my community joined up, and he would like tell me to like go like 1 click or 2 clicks to like a side or whatever, and we went through and we did that on like the challenge mode. So needed people to slay ads and stuff like that, and made it all the way through, across the bridge and everything. So it was fun. It was cool. It wasn't particularly difficult. It was just more like a fun challenge, like just.
That sounds pretty difficult. So I'm pretty impressed to know that. I would have died coming down the just the initial drop blindfold. Yeah, I mean I died that way without being blindfolded.
Oh yeah. I was always that guy that tried to like guess when the bridge was gonna form for Crota and try to jump early. I was that guy, like at the very beginning of the raid, and like the invisible bridge, and ended up ruining it for everyone. So that's pretty cool, though. Kudos. You said you got over 200 teams there, or 200 people there, flawless
like 200, and it was like 220 plus something or other. The goal was 200, but we went over that. So yeah,
wow.
on D1.
That's impressive. You should be proud of
and
that.
we did it normal. We didn't cheese the bridge, by the way. Just FYI. That was the thing. We couldn't cheese the bridge though. We had like
That's
a
cool.
system down though. So yeah.
Well, that's super impressive. I don't remember what I got my flawless. It definitely wasn't Vault. It probably was Crota to get flawless raider. I think was most likely what I think that's what mostly everyone
mine was
did.
definitely Crota.
I mean, I did my first Spire of Stars in Destiny with you, Lula, that first time. That was the first time I'd ever been in it. You were doing help that day on PS4. So I was pretty happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know. You didn't. I think we got there pretty quickly though. I know we ran out of time, but I think we got to that initial, like that last part within less than an hour. Because you didn't have a lot of time when we started.
I hate not finishing. We usually almost always finish, but there's just a couple that don't quite get done before I have to go to work. But usually we try to get them done.
I think we got it done. Well, I think I used a save point to get it done, and I think we played a couple times. We did some other Crucible, but I mean, ultimately I got it done. But I'd never been in there, so that was like super cool that you offered that to the community. Not so cool that we talked about hate mail. That was like your hate mail. Like I was like, so this guy just told me that I just sucked completely. That was useless. And then like Wilson's like, yeah, we got the Rezo one, and we always have like conversations. Like I think I posted recently, like someone messaged me, and he's like, oh my gosh, we're playing Rezo, and then like the next message was like, oh, never mind, just you. And so we all have like our favorite stories of like the Rezo hate mail. But yeah, I think yours kind of took that to the next level with actual seriousness. Is that Vaughn hanging out?
This is Vaughn. He is going to get on my lap. Okay.
So no one else is going to see that, but this is the famous Vaughn that is now sitting with Lulu. Yeah. Okay, well now, Wilson, thank you for reminding me of the TWA, but we can move to the Twitter question that we did receive. If you want to go ahead and assume that role, that I'm going to definitely support, unlike Hove.
Yeah, we only have one question this week. The Twitter crowd was kind of slacking or whatever, but old Matt Grundy here, he's always got some good questions, and it is, what is the lamest excuse you've used to get out of work in order to play video games? And to be honest, I mean, I think we could all probably answer this question, because I think at one point in time we've all used an excuse to get out of work or do something. I will say, I've never blamed someone's well-being. I've never gone that far. Usually I come up with like an automotive problem or just the classic, like I've gotten sick. It usually works. My boss is pretty cool. I could usually just call him and tell him like I don't want to come to work today, and he would probably appreciate that more than than like a no call or a no show. But the lamest excuse that I've used, man, like I'm not very, like I said, I'm not very creative. I just use the basic I'm sick or having car trouble, or I've definitely blamed a thing or two on my girlfriend though, but we won't get into that.
So if you're listening, Sam,
I made it up to her, all right?
I'm probably going to be the lame one here, and that I've actually like never called off work or for anything like that.
For you. That's huge. You have a pretty important job though. Like, yeah,
I have requested time off work for like video games. Like I took a week off for like, all the major Destiny drops. So like I use my vacation time to play video games. But I've never called in to play a game. I would feel too bad. My unit's a small unit, and like our like if I didn't come into work, then someone would have to like actually like stay over, and we work a lot, so I don't have to stay over. So I've never called into work. So I'm kind of lame, but
I don't think that's super. That's probably not lame at all.
Well, it's not lame, but but I don't have anything cool. But I definitely
I would use the word honorable.
Yeah, it's pretty,
but I use my vacation time to play video games. So usually every year I'll take, whenever the major releases come out, I'll take days off. So.
I wanted to guess that, so I actually wanted to say, oh well, let me take a guess, because I was going to guess that when we got to that question, like that was not going to be, you had not done that. I was like, I can't see Lulu ever calling out. I think there's like a very honest kind of quality to what you put out in the stream, and I'm like, based on your conversations that you just you've had that since I've been in your stream about work, I'm like, I just can't see her ever calling off for a game. I mean, especially. Well, for me, like, I work from home so much that I don't really have to ever be in that position. So I don't really have to be like, well, I'm gonna, like today I woke up and I'm like, oh, well, really don't want to have to get in super early for this 8 o'clock meeting, so I had your stream up, and I'm just like, I'll just listen to this call, and hopefully they don't ask me a question that I wasn't paying attention to as much. So,
I will say, I guess the thing that I have done though is when sometimes if I have meetings I have to go to from home, like go-to meetings from home, I definitely may or may not have had Destiny up on the computer next to me and done some patrols, like the flashpoint, while I was listening to this meeting. So may have done that, but I've never missed anything. So. Well, I mean, I may multitask.
Like Wilson mentioned, and you came out, you're doing nursing, so like it's clearly something that probably shouldn't. I mean, like no one's in danger if no one has to like work much harder if I were to choose to do it. So if I'm just watching basketball games or writing about them, it's not putting anyone's life in danger. So I feel like there's definitely a good thing that you didn't have a call off as opposed to us. Like I guess I don't know if I would use auto. I don't know. I can't think of the last time I did. Like I said, I work from home, so I can't really think of the last time I had to be like not gonna come in and then just play games as opposed to coming in and occasionally playing games.
Plus, it's probably hard to like fake being sick around a bunch of people who like diagnose people who are actually sick.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. Yeah,
we have to have doctor's notes and stuff, like legit reasons.
Oh wow.
So.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's our only Twitter question. But actually, like, I don't know, this might be kind of silly. But on the flip side, have you guys ever used an excuse to get out of playing a game or a particular, maybe like a game mode? Because like, I'm not gonna lie, like I've definitely had those time periods where it's late and someone hits you up, party invite, and you go in and they're like, yeah, man, we're getting ready to go in. Let's see if you want to do some trials. And I'm like, no, man, like, I gotta be to work and get up in like 2-3 hours when like in reality, like I totally give myself like at least 7 hours of sleep before I gotta get up the next day.
I think everyone kind of does that because I mean, there are just some things you don't want to do. So yeah,
you're just not feeling Trials of the 9 at 12:30 in the morning on a Friday.
Yeah, no, I definitely or there's the whole go offline thing, so people don't know you're actually still online doing whatever you wanted to do before.
Yeah, right. Oh no, my internet just went out, or like getting some serious lag, man. I'm about to sign off. Like yeah, we've all done it. Well, so I decided to be kind of a funny
I'm trying to think about it. This is where I think I for whatever reason I'm fine, like ignoring work if I need to get like a flashpoint done, but when it comes to that, I usually try to respond to people with a pretty honest answer. The only time that it's been a little bit shaky is recently. Kenway from our clan actually invited me to raid, which is awesome, by the way. So thank you, Kenway. I think it's so hard to try to like coordinate raids for some reason, just with everyone's timing and schedule, and then of course everyone needs to be at like a reasonable light level. So I just finally entered that realm. But he asked me, he's like, "Do you want to do a raid?" And Kenway's a great player in our clan, so I'm like, "Oh, this would probably be pretty easy." And I said, "No, I'm going to get off soon." And I think I ended up like doing like 2 more things, something like that. So I didn't get off. I think I told him I'd get off in like 15 minutes, and I think I played for like 45 minutes. So I actually really felt bad about that. Like, maybe it's because of clanmate or something. I'm like, oh wait, what if he sees me still online and are still searching? Oh no, like maybe I should message him. But then you get into that cycle of like, well then I don't want to admit that I'm doing something wrong. So Kenway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But Kenway, I feel bad, but I did eventually get offline.
I feel you though. I feel bad too if I say I can't join up, but sometimes it's just because like I need to like get this specific bounty done, and I only have like 40 minutes before I need to go to sleep or something. So it's kind of I kind of just like understand if someone says they can't join up, and I don't really like get too involved with why they couldn't join up. Like I don't analyze like, oh, they're like sitting over there doing like playing with someone else and they didn't join. I don't know. I try not to like. It's just a game. Like, I just try to have fun with it.
Well,
so.
For sure. And sometimes, like, someone will invite you and you're just got to be like, dude, I'm just, like, in the zone right now doing the solo grind thing. Yeah. Like, I have an itinerary planned right now for what I need to get done. And, like,
seriously, check marks. Check boxes you got to finish.
Absolutely. Like, you get in that zone of checking everything off the list and getting all your powerful engrams and stuff like that. Yeah, it could be kind of hard to meet up with people. So.
Wilson, is this like your nice way of saying, so the other day I messaged you and Sam for a party chat because I was like, here's my 2 favorite people, you guys are together, it's like a lot of activities are for 3 people, and I never end up getting to play with you guys, and so I don't
You know, I saw the notification, but it was actually the next day, and I'm not gonna lie, I must have just not seen it. Like, you know me, big space cadet. Like, I don't think I have some of my actual notifications on. I think I just have like party invites, I think. And then I turned my messages off to, this doesn't affect you, but to friends only, because I guess there was some message going around that's like crashing people's PlayStations.
Actually, that reminds me. I turned all of my messages off. I need to turn them back on.
Yeah,
actually,
turn mine to no one. No, also, I'm just giving you a hard time. I think it was like date night, man. I messaged like 4 or 5 like known couples because it's like it's the perfect thing. A little bit. It's like there's already just 2 of you only. Like I don't mind being the third wheel.
That was the day before yesterday. Oh yeah, we were running through doing our me and Sam were experiencing the haunted forest. I think when you messaged, okay. Yeah. So we were immersed.
Yeah, I think Tuesday night was date night. I just couldn't. No one wanted me to be a third wheel on that day, which is cool. You know?
You could be the third wheel anytime.
I only cried on my pillow.
Are you guys only on PS4? Both of you guys?
Yeah. I have it for PC, but I haven't taken that dive yet because I could barely juggle it on one platform.
I feel you.
But I will be going to PC soonish.
Good luck with that. It's probably not happening.
Yeah, right.
It's really hard.
You're like, this dude's so full of shit. He ain't going to it anytime soon.
I know what soonish means because.
Yeah, I know what that tone means. Like
we've been down that road before. Well, we are on questions, so I did have a question about that. So, I mean, you were originally on, PS4. I think probably like exclusively for a while. I think. And just so happened, I think, like I mentioned, the first time I played with you, we had like a lot of mutual friends. I used to see Lulu Soccer in parties. I think maybe we did like one activity together at some point, maybe a raid. But you did make the transition to PC. So a lot of people that I know have actually come back mostly because people they know or friends mostly were here. So actually, of all the people I know, you're one of the people who have just, kind of primary are going to be on PC. What kind of went into that decision to stay there more so than PS4?
Honestly, that was not an easy decision for me. It was actually pretty it was a very stressful decision for me actually, because I always said when Destiny 2 dropped, I knew it was coming out for PC, but I was never going to play it on PC. I'm a PS4 player, like that's where all my friends are, that's what I'm going to play. And then as I started playing, and my sister got it for PC, and she's a PC player. She's mainly only ever played on PC, and I was like, well, I want to play with my sister, so I'm going to get it for PC too, so I can play with her. Well, then it kind of became a thing where, initially when Destiny 2 came out, you could juggle 2 systems, and it was fine. It wasn't like a problem until Warmind came out, and then I realized this is a huge grind to do 2 systems, and so I kind of was like, I don't know what to do, because my community mainly is based on PS4. I know people on PC though. I have a lot of friends on PC too. A lot of the people that I do PvE like challenges and stuff with, they all moved to PC and things like that. And then just in terms of how the game plays on PC, it plays on PC so amazingly well, and it was like it's so hard to go back and forth. And so I spent a lot of time like debating on what I wanted to do, and so I finally made a decision. All right, when Forsaken comes out, I'm only going to play on PC first. I'm going to level that up and see how it goes, with the intent of at least still having one character on PS4 so I can still play with like my friends and such on PS4. So I'm not raid ready yet on PS4 or anything like that, but I am still playing on PS4 so I can still hang out with my friends that are on PS4. But it wasn't easy though. Like I spent a lot of time trying to figure out, but it just, for me, it just like the game just, I don't know. I just like how it plays on PC, and it's just, I don't know. I just decided
it feels and looks good.
Yes.
On PC. Yes. It is amazing.
It really is.
So there's life before and life after experiencing it on PC. Is the only way to describe it. But hey, maybe by the time you get all 3 of your characters with all completionists, everything done, maybe I'll have one character raid ready by then, so you can always hop over to PS4.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on PS4, so I'm not like abandoning it. Like I still have friends over there on PS4, and I don't want to like, I still want to, they're friends, so I still want to play with them. So it's just, I do know a lot of people on PC now though that I have transitioned, of slowly growing the PC community as well. So, and a lot of my friends play on both still, actually. I have friends that play on both systems, so yeah, it works out.
So for you listeners, you have heard it here, because there's always like one person that comes into the chat. It's like, well, why have you been in PS4 if it's like one of your PC days and you had just been on PS4 like the day before and planned it like the day after? So it is not abandoned. It is just a logical decision based on how she enjoys to play, but it is not abandoned, guys. So for those of you who put that in chat, every single chat that it's a PC one, it'll probably be some other time that week that it will be on PS4.
Except for this week, because this week's really busy. But yeah.
Except for this week, but this week's almost over, so it's okay. So
this is true. It's true.
So it'd be okay. Wait, I thought you were there like 2 days ago. I think you did like a grind. You did do it 2 days ago.
Yeah, I was actually on Tuesday. I think I'm just thinking of like this reset, like so till next Tuesday. I don't know. Weeks are weird. There's a Destiny week and there's an actual Monday through Friday, and they're different. So
Yeah, I figured with you there'd be Destiny week, Monday through Friday, and then like work week as well. Like completely different.
So I'm just thinking Destiny week, actually, I think.
Well, I could always tell right away, because sometimes I can't have like the audio if like maybe I'm commuting, or if I do go in the office I can't blare a stream, but I can always tell immediately just based on like what it looks like. So you mentioned how much different it is, and I know I've barely experienced Destiny 2 on PS or PC. My friend had it, so I played I think just like the very first story mission at his house just to experience it, but you can't tell right away. So when you're watching, whether it's the field of view or the frames or whatever, I could always tell within like 2 seconds, like if it's a PC day or a PS4 day, without even having to see the title. So quite a big difference. Well, Wilson, do you have anything else question wise, anything that you have off the top of your head before we wrap up?
Not that I can think of, man.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Lulu. We really enjoyed having you. Good conversation, and for bearing with some of our technical / life difficulties.
No, I mean, I appreciate the invite. It was good.
Awesome. Well, we maybe in the future here, when we do have all the other hosts and other content comes out, or if you do another blindfold thing, maybe we could definitely have you back to talk about your experience that, or as you get more raid help and raid ready. We'd obviously love to have you back on the show. And where can people find you at? Twitch, Twitter, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, my Twitch is twitch.tv/iLulu, and my Twitter is twitter.com/LuluSoccer. So. And
do you still do the YouTube? Do you want to mention the YouTube?
I do YouTube, although I don't have I have a link. Just if you search iLulu on YouTube, you'll find it. It's not the actual link though. It's like iLulu Games or something like that. But yeah, I have my YouTube channel is mainly just an extension of my Twitch, and it just kind of has all the highlights for any challenges that we do or anything like that in the Twitch.
And where can they find you for the pumpkin stencil stream? That'll just be your Twitch.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin stencil.
That's maybe. I'm gonna
be on creative.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, how about you, Wilson? Where can they find you at?
As always, you can find me on Twitter at RyuWilson. That's RYU Wilson. Tweet me your new Generation 4 Pokemon pictures. Tweet me. Let me know if you're going to be playing some Fallout, some Red Dead, or Call of Duty or anything of that stuff. So love to hear from you guys on Twitter. So holla.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter at Triton Please, all one word, the please being PLZ. You can not probably find me too much on Twitch, but it's the same there. And you can find me on YouTube extremely infrequently there. So just kind of going down the list of things that you won't find me at. And for the 2 people who reach out to me every now and then and ask if I'm ever going to post another Battlefront 2 video, I really do appreciate that. But the likelihood of that is so minimal. But thank you so much. I got one message this week hey, can we expect any more videos? I'm like, I didn't think. I'm glad you still play that game, but no, I think
people still play that game.
We've moved on. He asked me a question. I didn't even know that character was in the game. I think so. I was like, ugh, that one's slipping. And you can find more about Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter, and you can also follow us on REZOcast at REZOcast. You can search us out on iTunes. Like I said, we have that promotional giveaway going on. If you leave us a review, we really would appreciate that, because the reviews really help us, according to Lego. And we also like reading them. But that is it for episode 106, guys. Thank you so much for listening. GG's.
GG, man.
All right, so
yeah.
Hi, this is iLulu, and you're watching. Actually, wait.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. You can.
Everyone always
stop this and redo this, because this is really bad.
It's so fine.
Sometimes it is kind of hard to elaborate on what like you're trying to say sometimes without feel like you're taking away time from everyone else. So this will be nice.
Yeah, Hope never cares about that though. He'll just keep
No,
generating
he
the
always-
conversation.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, I hope he
You're going
hears this
to,
unedited
so.
version too. No, he won't. He'll never hear it. Lego put in the bleeper. Okay. 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 Okay.